The Immortal John Hancock here, and I just got back from the Portland Retro Gaming Expo. There were so many great things this year, and this one was special to me. And that mainly was because my entire Sega Genesis collection was displayed in the PRGE Museum. I took a lot of time and effort to put this collection together. And for those who couldn't go to PRGE, I want to share that with you on my channel with commentary. And so sit back, relax, and I hope you enjoy this video. The Sega Genesis library is very diverse with many different types of games, game boxes, art styles. And here we go. I'm showing you as best as possible in 4K the Sega Genesis collection faced out. Lots of different games, strategy, platforms, sports, action. You know, and like I said, the Sega Genesis library is very diverse, and a lot of people kept on commenting, boy, there is a lot more Genesis games than I actually thought there was. And so it was nice for people to reminisce about things and point out their favorite games. You know, it's just nuts. And so a lot of people thanked me that they were able to see the games faced out and to look at the box art. And so, yep, Battletoads, 2 Battletoads games, 2 Beauty and the Beast games on the console. Lots of different games. This is a lot of sports titles, but there's also a lot of great action platformers and action games and brawlers. I've really appreciated collecting this console over time, good and bad. And you know, there's just so many different types of games, and so everything from, you know, Castlevania Bloodlines, excellent game, Captain America and the Avengers, 2 games forgotten, Caesar Palace, Champions, World Class Soccer. There was a Championship Pro-Am game that's pretty good, you know, but there was, you know, Sega Genesis is known for its countless sports titles. But what makes this library fun to collect for is that it doesn't have what I call the Nintendo tax. And, you know, typically between a Sega Genesis and a Super Nintendo title, a Super Nintendo title is typically more expensive because there are more Nintendo collectors out there. But I just want to say that the Sega Genesis had many awesome ports on it and a lot of individual titles that were exclusive to the system. Desert Strike's amazing on the Sega Genesis, Doom Troopers, Mutant Chronicle Doom Troopers, as well as several other games that were exclusive. There's so many titles that I remember playing back in the day and still play today. Ernest Evans, Earthworm Jim, Echo the Dolphin, just to name a few of the classics right there. And you know, there was a lot of other oddball, Elemental Master, El Viento, Eternal Champions. I mean, there was just a ton of these kind of 8 out of 10 games that I think that, you know, they weren't perfect, they were far from perfect, but they were fun to play and they really represented what the Sega Genesis could offer. Sega Genesis was a little edgier than Nintendo. Flicky, amazing game. Gain Ground, one of my favorites on the console. You know, and so the list goes on and on. And what you're looking right there, those are Game Factory carts. Those are kind of like carts that you could pretty much put games on, and mine are blank, as most found are blank. And so there is odd collectibles for the Sega Genesis, and it goes on and on. It's never really over. I was so happy to complete this collection, at least one version of every game. There's lots of variations and cardboard variations. I only had enough space to represent pretty much one version of each game that I had, and so it fit exactly in 9 of these acrylic cases that PRGE had. Herzog's Vi, awesome game. And so, you know, I really wanted to just to share the cover art and what each game looked like as best as possible in 4K. So many amazing games. Jewel Master, an awesome hidden gem on the console. Lots of Maddens, yes. Had a lot of great memories playing Maddens on the Sega Genesis. King of the Monsters, decent port. Landstalker, Light Crusader. These are just some of the countless games that I played back in the day. Lightning Force, Musha. So yeah, I want to know, like, what games did you play on the Sega Genesis back in the day? Comment below. I'd love to hear from you. What Madden was your favorite, if you're a Madden fan? You know, I couldn't bring the Mario Lemieux hockey with a hockey puck, but I do have it. Mega Turrican, Mega Bomberman, awesome games. Mazen Saga, Mutant Fighter, Michael Jackson's Moonwalker, Micro Machines. I mean, these are just, I mean, hit after hit was on the Sega Genesis. It really did a good job competing with the Super Nintendo. You know, in the United States, it was kind of neck and neck. You know, sales numbers, you know, depending on who you talk to, one sold a little bit better than the other. It was pretty close. But, oh, I love that previously viewed movie Blockbuster sticker on my NCAA Final Four. And yes, I kept it on because I thought that was important to note that rental stores put those stickers on video games. Awesome hockey games on Sega Genesis. What was your favorite? This just puts a smile to my face, you know, being able to present this and share this on my channel. It means the world to me, putting this together, and it's just the beginning. Pac-Mania, good game. Phantasy Star 2, timeless classic. Lots of soccer games on the Sega Genesis. Great shooters, great platformers. Prince of Persia, that's the cardboard box variation. My Populous, the early EA box art is hard to get in good shape. Raiden Triad, that is the variation box. Ranger X, another good one. Rampart, Rambo 3, Revenge of Shinobi. Many of these games were ones I played a lot back in the day. All the cases that you see are original and to the game. I did not piecemeal 99% of the time. The only times I can't account for is if I bought a game used and if they pieced out a different case. And so, Sega Club game, Magic School Bus. One of my last games that wasn't super duper expensive was Scooby-Doo, actually. It's hard to find one in good shape. Shaq Fu, my Shaq Fu sealed with the CD, for people wondering. Skeleton Crew, pretty hard game to get. Soldiers of Fortune, decent port. Sorcerer's Kingdom, pretty hard game to get. All the Sonics. It's funny, a lot of people came right up to the Sonics. Oh man, look at all the Sonics there. Space Invaders 91, Sparkster. Lots of different Spider-Man games made for the Sega Genesis. 2 Star Trek games. Star Control, timeless classic. Splatterhouse 2 and 3. Stormlord, Street Fighter 2 Championship Edition. Streets of Rage 2, probably my favorite on the console. Super Off-Road, Super Smash TV. And I tried to just really get one version of each game that best represents the Sega Genesis collection. Target Earth. 3 Tecmo Super Bowl games were on the Sega Genesis. 2 Turtles games. They had lots of platform games. Toe Jam and Earl. I just brings back a rush of memories. I don't know about you, but you know, it was a great time for video games. Lots of different types of games coming out for the first time, and you know, with the enhanced graphics, there was a lot of games that were only available during this time period and beyond. Virtua Racing, played a lot of that back in the day. So many great memories of going to a rental store and playing by the hour. Weapon Lord, that's a game that I rented quite a bit. Wings of War. Look at Wolfchild's artwork, that's awesome. Lots of cool artwork for the Sega Genesis boxes. Faced out, it looks pretty cool. Zany Golf. Zero, the Kamikaze Squirrel. And then the Bible games, Action 52, and you know, some of the few of the unlicensed games. And as well, I had to represent all the Sega Classic games, blue and red, including the cardboard box columns, hard to get. And to finish it off, I had to do the Mega Hits collection. I did a video on those. At least one game represented per title. And you're probably wondering, all right, where is it? I'm getting to it. One moment. I did not forget about Lethal Enforcer's Complete in Box, Wacky Worlds Creativity Studio, as well as representing a kind of an obscure subset, the Video Game Classics Accolade Greatest Hits subset. Huge shout out to Archon 1981 for offering to have his personal trainer in this display with my cart and manual, and he had all the paperwork to his personal trainer. I found out my Outback Joey cart works. You actually have to use a personal trainer, customized controllers to activate the game to begin. Thank you, Archon 1981. So there it is, the Sega Genesis Collection US. What did you think? What is your favorite Sega Genesis game? What are your Sega Genesis memories? Comment below, as I would love to hear from you. Thank you so much for the ongoing support. This was near and dear to my heart, and I wanted to share it with you. Thank you so much for watching. You folks are wonderful and beautiful. Thanks to all the PRGE organizers, volunteers, staff, people I talked to. I had a great time. There's so much to see, and you know, I can't wait till next year. It was just huge this year, so I'm excited about coming back. Thank you so much for watching. This is the Immortal John Hancock. You take care.